Every country aiming for the top is hungrily aiming at the US, China, Russia, North Korea. None is left out, but the US has something they all don't. An advanced 6th-generation fighter the world has never seen. This $300+ million fighter would end any war targeted at the US before the war even has a chance to begin. Packed with an avionics suite that makes it spot targets on the other side of the planet, an armament suite that enables it to strike targets on the other side of the planet, and a stealth suite that enables it to hide in plain sight. This new fighter is an aerospace revolution the world is probably not prepared for. Aerospace Revolution, Next Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD for short, is the program that'll develop the fighter that ensures the next generation of American air dominance, as the F-22 Raptor has done so excellently well for decades now. The new NGAD fighter will be slick and aerodynamic and feature an elongated blended fuselage that completely shatters the laws of physics. Within this fuselage will be 3 war-defining technological wonders: an AESA radar, stealth, and adaptive cycle engines. AESA radar. The NGAD program is also developing new and advanced active electronically scanned array radars that would power the fighter's sensor kill-all advantage. Active electronically scanned arrays, or AESA radars, have many advantages over the previous generation of radars. They cancel out the need to mechanically scan rapidly in different directions, therefore lacking all the clunky moving parts of their predecessors, making them far more reliable and in some instances, more compact and lighter. They can scan huge volumes of airspace and large areas of the planet's surface extremely fast, simultaneously keeping track of multiple targets with peak reliability. They complement these capabilities with high sensing resolutions, immunity from electronic warfare attacks, enhanced performance against stealthy targets, and being stealthy themselves for even better performance. The NGAD fighter will do away with the traditional radar mount for the more futuristic electronically configured smart skins integrated into the aircraft's fuselage. This allows the AESA radar to offer a level of sensor fusion never seen before by fusing the functions of the sensor, electronic warfare systems, and communication systems into single multi-mode AESA arrays. Instead of multiple systems each doing one thing, AESA radars alone now have it all. Super fast scanning, spherical coverage, very high power, electronic warfare data identification, friend or foe, precise narrow beam abilities, and wideband capabilities. The data from all the individual functions are combined to form a detailed, seamless, tactical, godlike picture of the battle space. Using such self-sufficient AESA radars would make the aircraft system easier to upgrade both in terms of software and hardware. Testing and validating the multiple functions could also be accelerated, at least drastically, under the NGAD program. NGAD is touted by the Air Force as a program that will birth an entire family of systems, including the manned 6th-generation fighter, radars, unmanned fighters, and so on. Should the manned and unmanned fighters host the same AESA radar family, that would not only allow for far more seamless integration and massive economies of scale, but also could be a boon for maintainers working forward in the field. The commonality of replacement units and parts, as well as having fewer total system types to maintain overall, would allow for simplification and consolidation of critical maintenance tasks. Updating core software would also be a more do one get one done situation. It's important to note that this level of sensor fusion is still a fragile concept that requires gifted hands and brains to pull off. But with the benefits it offers and the incredible American talent working on the NGAD program, it's only a matter of time before it's achieved. The thing that makes 20-ton flying vehicles virtually invisible in the sky is a groundbreaking technology that the NGAD fighter will make the most of. Stealth isn't a single technology that's just installed on a fighter, but rather a set of measures in place that combine to make sure both the human eye of enemy soldiers and radar waves of enemy radars are unable to spot the NGAD fighter as it flies above them silently. To be stealthy, the fighter must, among other things, reduce its radar cross-section, its infrared signatures, and its acoustic signature. While the NGAD fighter's exact approach to these is still a closely guarded secret tucked away in a chest at the bottom of the ocean, calculated assumptions and expectations can be made. Radar cross-section is a measure of how much radar energy an object reflects back to the source. If the source receives a significant amount of radar energy, it knows that some aircraft is in the air, so to avoid being blown out of the sky, an aircraft must return minimal radar energy. In line with this, the NGAD fighter is shaped and designed to have smooth and angular surfaces that deflect radar waves away from the source, rather than reflecting them back. The fighter will have no vertical stabilizers to reduce the number of reflective surfaces. It is the first fighter in history to have such a design. The fighter will also be coated with radar-absorbent materials that absorb or scatter radar waves rather than reflect them to reduce the fighter's infrared signature. Cooling systems, born of the same DNA as the North Pole, are used to cool down the aircraft's engines and exhausts to reduce their heat emission. Heat sinks or exchangers are also employed to dissipate the heat by transferring it to other parts of the aircraft or to the surrounding air. In addition to being cooled, the fighter's engines and exhausts are shielded from the direct view of the infrared sensors. And finally, the acoustic signature that must be reduced. Acoustic signature is simply a measure of how much